One of the important things we need to do with Firefly is to share resources with students and, where necessary, parents. So let me show you how you do that. So we have here the page which is on my staff training, adding files to pages, resource sharing. I'm just going to try and drop some resources on here. So let me show you how that works. So you would have some files or some documents, PDFs. You might have a PowerPoint that you want to share. You might have an image that you want to share. They're all pretty easy to introduce to the page. So one option is drag and drop. So if you have them on your desktop, so I've got a few here examples. So let's say I've got an image here I want to share. You just, oh, that's not what you do. You just edit the page. And once you're in the edit area, you can just drop that image somewhere, first of all. And what Firefly will do is it will now upload the image to its own bank. So you've got it on there for other pages if you want to use that. You can resize that, just moving the little square at the bottom right hand corner, resizes the image. You can move it around and say that you want to put it somewhere else on the page. That's possible. Maybe we want it down here. And there's some other things you can do, but really that's good enough at the moment. This little settings is in case we want to make that image link to somewhere. So we click on link, we can make that image take them to a web page, somewhere else, or a file. So we can actually use the image as a link for the file. We can upload a file from our computer, or we can make that image take them to a page. So the way a website would navigate you around in its own pages. So that's the idea of dropping an image in. We can drop a file. This is the useful thing. So we can drop a file like this, or let me do something else, a PowerPoint. I have a PowerPoint here, which I'll drop in a moment. When you put a file on, when you drag and drop the file or the PowerPoint, what happens, as you'll see in a moment, is it will show you that in a larger window. So this is not the best way to put files on Firefly unless you want it to be visible straight away. So for example, if it was a PowerPoint, let me do that. And you want the PowerPoint to be playable on the Firefly page, so that we can click through the slides, then that would be the way to do it. But I don't want students necessarily to, if I just click on done, I don't want students to have to, or I don't want them to see these the way they are at the moment. But you could, you can go through that slide quite easily. So if somebody wanted to do that, let me just get rid of one of those. And they wanted to make that really big, like that, then that is possible. That your Firefly page is actually just the PowerPoint slides that you want students to be able to go through. So there is the option to do that, and you can imagine using that in class if you were on a Firefly page to deliver the PowerPoint, but really you would do that on PowerPoint. You can open that in PowerPoint by just clicking on the document to download it, and you can go full screen. It's really just connecting to that PowerPoint feature. Okay, but we're not going to do that right now. So we're just going to close that. So there is other ways to do this, but drag and drop can be quite useful, but not if you're putting on a lot of files, and then you'd have a problem with how it lays itself out. So the other way to do that is just to insert the file. Again, it'll be the same issue if we're not careful. So I'm just going to go to maybe somewhere here on the page. So we've got up here on the left, image, file. We can insert an image from our computer. We can insert a file from our computer. So I'm just going to select a file. Now it's actually still got the files I was playing with. You can see them here. Or I could just select one from my computer, and you would have that stored somewhere to move onto Firefly. I'm going to select that one I had before. Now when I add the file, it will do the same thing. So we've got that problem again, or maybe that's what you wanted to do. So the other option is we insert a link to the file. The way we do that is to just type something that we want to be the clickable link. So it might be that this is, introduction to the IB poster, or whatever it happens to be. You can highlight that text, so select all that text, and then we go to this little hyperlink. Again, as I showed you with the image, you can link to a website, you can link to a file or a page in Firefly. So I might link to a file. This time I want it to link to that poster. Open a new window. I'm going to select that option and then click done. And then when we click done, on my Firefly page there is a clickable link, like you would see on a web page or some of the emails we send each other. If somebody's visiting this page, I can say click below to download the poster. They will click on the link and they will open the file on a separate browser as a PDF that they can download, or a Word document, or whatever it happens to be. So that's what you would do when you visit a website. I'm sure you visit websites that have PDFs. I'm sure you click on the link and you do something very similar to what we've just done there. So that's some of the ways you can put some resources on your Firefly page. It's all about dragging, dropping them, and then being able to manage how they look, or using image or file or the hyperlink option to introduce that material to your Firefly page. Other videos might look at other resources like videos, but I think keeping it simple, hopefully that's a helpful way to get started.